In today's culture of instant gratification, we've normalized putting our future at risk just to get what we want now. And one of the latest examples of this is something called BNPL. And if you care about your financial future, your leadership potential, and your personal values, you need to stay far away from it. So let's break it down. What is BNPL? BNPL stands for Buy Now, Pay Later. It sounds simple, right? You want to make a new purchase, and instead of paying the full amount, you can split it up into a bunch of smaller payments over time. It feels easy. Just a few steps or clicks and that new product, that new service, it's in your hands or it's at your door. But here's the truth. BNPL is just a shiny new form of debt. It's marketed like a modern convenience, but at its core, it's still the same trap that credit cards and payday loans have sucked people into for years, just dressed up for younger generations. So why is BNPL dangerous? For three main reasons. First, it builds a false sense of security. You trick yourself into thinking you're managing or budgeting your money, but you're actually postponing reality. BNPL tricks people into spending money they don't have on things they don't typically need. And that's not freedom, that's dependency. And second, it trains you to avoid responsibility. Every time you decide to pay later, you're choosing convenience and shortcuts over responsibility and discipline. You're building a habit of procrastinating your responsibilities instead of facing them today. And that mindset spreads into every other non-financial part of your life. Leadership says, take care of things now. BNPL says, take care of things later. And third, it eats your financial margin. Your margin is the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Leaders need margin to be generous. They need it to invest and to have options when challenges emerge. BNPL eats that margin alive. You're constantly paying off yesterday's decisions with today's income. And finally, BNPL contradicts leadership. If you want to lead, whether it's in your home, your business, your church, or your country, you need to act like a leader. And leaders don't put off responsibility. They plan, they prepare, and they live within their means. BNPL encourages the opposite. It promotes short-term thinking, emotional spending, and a mindset of shortcuts, delay, and voluntarily putting yourself in an upside-down financial position, one where you're owing rather than owning. And that's not leadership. That's prioritizing short-term gratification over long-term rewards. So there's three simple ways you can avoid the BNPL trap. The first is create and stick to a real budget. Know what you earn, know what you spend, know what you're saving. If you don't tell your money where to go, someone else will, and they'll charge you fees and interest. Second, embrace delayed gratification. You don't need it right now. You don't. Just wait and save, then go buy it. It's old school, yes, but old school works in this situation. The people who win financially are the ones who are patient. And BNPL and payment plans are completely unnecessary for someone who practices the financial habit of saving before they go spending. And the third is to build an emergency fund. BNPL often feels necessary when you're unprepared. A small emergency fund can be the difference between confidence and crisis. Leaders prepare for unexpected expenses before they ever come up. BNPL is not just a bad financial practice, it contradicts leadership. So if you want to stand out, you gotta live differently. So reject debt, reject financial shortcuts, choose discipline and leadership, because your future and the people depending on you are worth it.